I'm going to do a thorough decode on the Bumblebee movie. Before I do that, I want to cover a few things that have come up recently, like during that Notre Dame shooting. I apologize that you may not be able to see this very big, and it's going to be even smaller in your YouTube video. But here's Michelle Obama wearing a burning necklace while she was in Paris during the Notre Dame fire. I mean, that's just bizarre. And then you see the Simpsons showing the cathedral on fire, and we know how many times that they have predicted what's going on, while at the same time Donald Trump is in Burnsville, Indiana while the fire is going on. You know, this world is very organized in their disaster planning. These people are all on the same page. Yes, Donald Trump's on the same page as Michelle Obama. That's what you don't understand, a lot of you. And probably if you're watching this, you probably do understand. But you know, if you're new or something, then this might shock you. Okay. Well, this great tip came to me. Okay, about some towers that were taken down on purpose in this case. Okay, it's these towers right here. The Brayton Point Tower implosion. Okay, this was a controlled demolition of these two towers. But here's what's interesting about it. These two towers were imploded, according to Falcor2, commented on my, he's got a great YouTube channel, by the way. You should subscribe to his channel. But according to him, this happened 219 months after 9/11, 219 lunar months, I should say. Okay, remember that number 219. Now, and the size of the towers was the 218 and new 219th prime, which is really interesting, of the twin towers. Okay, so we got 219 again. Just remember that number 219, because right here in Nowhere Land, West Virginia, about a half an hour I live on the Ohio side, but about a half hour from here. Also on April 27, this is actually April 26, I should say, for the Brayton in control, but it's awfully close, okay? And the Hebrew calendar would be the same day, okay? And that'll be important here in a minute. But Nowhere Land, West Virginia, out in the middle of nowhere, there's this power plant. And I've been to this memorial several times. Used to drive by it all the time. And there were two towers exactly like these two towers. Two cooling towers looked exactly like this. While they were building them in 1978, supposedly accidentally collapsed, killing 51 construction workers. But now get this. When I checked the date duration, the date duration was 1,219 weeks. There's that number 219 again. Before September 11, 2001. So you had 219 months after two controlled towers, 219 lunar months, and 1,219 weeks before, both of them on April 26 or 27. You think that's a coincidence? They are killing people, and yes, I'm accusing the mysterious they, whoever they are, of murdering people in conjunction with 9/11 to make a point. That's what's going on in our world. Your government is doing this. Do you understand? These people were murdered. Look at the 39, okay? You know, the 81. I mean, 81, like ritual. This is the coordinates for where this happened. It's no wonder. And I'm going to get into Bumblebee here in just a minute. Okay? Sometimes I got to look things up because I don't remember. Yeah, 39. Oh, right. Look at these coordinates. 39 degrees. Okay? Well, how many books are in the Old Testament? 39, right? And April 27, what is 3 times 9? 27. And there's 27 books in the New Testament. Think about that for a second. You think that's a coincidence? 39 books in the Old Testament, 27 books in the New Testament, and here we have a collapse of two towers happening exactly the same as the two towers imploding after, okay, and the same numbers, 219. And here it's got the Bible numbers, 39 and 27. And this is literally in nowhere. They're killing people in nowhere, man. Okay? In conjunction with 9/11. Yeah, and if they're doing that in nowhere land, West Virginia, they just might be doing this in your town. So it might pay attention. You might start paying attention and pick up on some of these things. Now let's go into the Bumblebee. I watched this the other day, so I started taking screenshots. I realize you are not going to be able to see this picture on your screen, okay? If you blow it up, though, you can see this is Bumblebee's license plate at the beginning. He had two license plates in the movie, and I got a screen capture of both of them, okay? But this one, if you expand it and you turn it sideways and look at it, the numbers are 13553 on the license plate. 13553. That is really important. Afterward, okay, but right before he went over the Golden Gate Bridge, he had another license plate right here. I know you can't see it, but if you expand it, it says L89 PCE. Now, if you take these numbers, you open up your gematrinator.com calculator. Try not to get lost on me. Open up this septenary cipher right here, and you punch in L89 PCE. Okay, look at the numbers. 53, 35, 35 again over here. Remember, the first license plate we said was 13553. Repeat, right? So do you think that L89 PCE is just some random number they put on there? No. It was meant to be interpreted by the septenary cipher, because it comes out as the same thing as the first license plate. Not a mistake. Now, you say, well, what does that mean? Look. Golden Gate Bridge. 135. The first license plate was 13553. The second license plate was 53, 35, 35, 35. See? You see that? Not a coincidence. Now, what's really interesting about this L89 PCE one, let's go back to that real quick. L89 PCE. Okay, you take these numbers right here, using the septenary cipher, and let's see, I think you got to multiply them out. Yeah, there it is. So you take 2 times 8 times 9. Follow the cursor. 2 times 8 times 9 times 3 times 3 times 5. That sums to 6,480. You say, so what? Well, here's so what. Divide 6,480 by 2. Divide it by 2 again. Divide it by 2 again. And it equals 810. That's August 10, the day we're looking out for. When we think there might be something happening San Francisco on the Golden Gate Bridge. You think that's a coincidence? I think this movie came out in February. I forgot to check before I started. I meant to check that. But if so, that'd be 6 months before. But I could be wrong on that. Also, if you take that 6,480, which is when you multiply these numbers across, the number we got, and you just divide it by 6, the sum is 1,080. Well, how many times do we talk about that number? Well, every single frickin' time that I make a video, we go through the 1,080 list. You know, just go watch any of my last 500 videos, and you're going to see that long list of 1,080. Let's see if I can find it here. I got so many files now. I've got like hundreds of pages anymore. But here it is, 1,080 list here, okay? You know, like the first person killed at the Parkland shooting, when multiplied in the septenary cipher again, was 1,008. Her name was Al-Hadef Elisa. You know, the Tree of Life shooting, 1108. That was in Pittsburgh. The Las Vegas shooting started at 1008, or the police were called at 1008. You know, the Cole bombing, 1118. Gemini 5 was halted in 1965 at 108. The Columbine stopped at 1208. And there's just slight variations, I get it. The local murder here, Not too far, really, about a half hour from the Willow Island. Jalea Davis multiplied in the septenary cipher 1080. And she was definitely, I got a whole series on her. Go check my playlist. Not a mistake. Why? Why is the 108 so important? Well, this is why I started out with the Notre Dame thing. Think about this. The Notre Dame and Temple Mount burnings, okay? Two temples being burned on the same day were 118 days before this August 11, or 8/11. So 118 and 8/11. And here we've got all this coming together on the Golden Gate Bridge, okay? All he thinks the Golden Gate Bridge was the 35s. You think that 3553 thing is just some random? No. Look, Flight 370 from Malaysia Airlines. You remember when you wondered what the heck that was about? Captain Zahari Ahmed Shah was 53 years old. And the co-pilot was, his name sums in the septenary cipher to 53. Here, I'll punch it up here so in case you don't believe me or you didn't watch my last video there about it. Farik Abdul, this is the co-pilot. Abdul Hamid. Okay, 53. Septenary cipher. This is why septenary cipher is so important. You know, don't stop with the 4-base ciphers. Always open up his septenary cipher. I'm telling you, it's important. And by the way, the co-pilot was 27 years old. Remember Willow Island right here? Happened on April 27, 1978. And here this Brayton Twin Towers collapse was on, well, the 26th, but same day in the Hebrew calendar. Okay, just like August 10 and 11 are the same day on the Hebrew calendar. Because they mean the same thing. These 53s and 27s go together. This is not. This is intentional. Once you start seeing, you remember Robin Williams died on 80, or was born on 8/11, and he was a sacrifice. Eric Harris from the Columbine was 108 in English Ordinal. In this cipher right here. You know, I think. If I got that right, let me punch in and make sure. Eric Harris, one of the murderers. Yeah, 108, like geometry. A number's important to them. Super important. 108. Why? They use that as the moon number. Okay, because they code it with the moon. That's why it's so important with them. 8 is like an infinity number because it's 2 circles, so they code the moon with an 8. And they say that the radius of the moon is 1,080 miles. So a lot of these people are killed in conjunction with the moon. You know, according to moon eclipses most of the time. That's why those cooling towers came down 219 lunar months after 9/11. You see? It's all about the moon and the eclipses. That's why 219 was again important back in 1978. They've been doing this crap forever. If something's coming down in your neighborhood, there's probably a riddle to it. Oh yeah, here we go. Check this out. Back on the Bumblebee thing. Okay, here's here on a helicopter, and you have to be quick to pause it right here because this doesn't show up very long. I know you probably can't see it, but on this helicopter's tail is the numbers 13553. Or 11553 maybe. Very slight variation. So yeah, 1553 I think is what it says. 13553. I don't know. I can barely see it. So even on my screens, I'm sure you can't see it on yours, but still. What's helicopter equal? I bet helicopter probably equals the same thing. Let's see. Let's check it out. I could be wrong, but helicopter. No, okay, yeah. I was wondering if maybe there was a 35 or 53. But, you know, just like the license plates, though, was 13553 and 53, 35, 35, 35. There on the helicopter, it's got the same freaking number again. Remember, why did we say that was important? Golden Gate Bridge sums to 135. Here at the end, look at Optimus Prime and Bumblebee are driving across the Golden Gate freaking bridge. It's the last scene. Last scene in the movie. They're driving across the Golden Gate Bridge. And here's some interesting things, too. Bumblebee, at the beginning, Optimus Prime was constantly calling Bumblebee B127. Why is 127 important? Well, think about it. World Trade Centers were what? 1, 2, and 7. World Trade Center 1, World Trade Center 2, World Trade Center 7. Like Pearl Harbor was on 12/7. You see? See why that's important? Now I have a whole page, a list of 127s too. Maybe I should have, yeah, here it is. I thought I had it out. Okay. Now go back to some of these same other events. The Tree of Life shooting, 10/27. That's a 1 and a 2 and a 7. Just take out the 0. Duration of the Lusitania that got us into World War I to the beginning of the Korean War, 12,774 days. There's the 127 and a 74. How much do we talk about 74? July 4th to George Bush's New World Order speech, July 4th, 1776 to the New World Order speech, 11,227 weeks. And here he was, remember, Bumblebee was called B127. And in case you don't think that was enough, they reiterated it here on this bad guy right here. It says 722. Okay? Well, that's pretty darn close. Okay, 22 divided by 7 is pi. They're reminding you. And the other guy, you can't quite see it at the tip of his, this wasn't the best screenshot, but right here on the tip of his door here or whatever is a 13, you know. Unlucky number. 13 in conjunction with the 227 and 127 are the same thing, essentially. Okay. 227 is more like a pi number. Bavarian Illuminati and reverse full reduction. This cipher here, reverse full reduction, okay, equals 127, like the pillar of fire in Moses' day. And Hebrew, by the way, the Hebrew language has 12 simple letters and 7 double letters. This is a reference to that. The rule of 72 divided by your interest rate tells you how many years it takes for your money to double. This is a common mathematical concept. It goes with pi. It goes with E. Okay, the how long it takes. That's growth over time. It's the concept of E on a scientific calculator. The New World Order speech to the Gulf of Tonkin was 27 years and 19 days. There's that 27 again. 2 and 7, 2 and 7, 2 and 7, 2 and 7. And remember, the rocket that was halted in 1965, the Gemini 5 that we were always talking about, that was halted at 108, the 2 people that walked out on the launch pad, that's why this was a ritual. This didn't just happen, okay? This was a ritual. Gary Ralph Young was 22, and Theodore Ballinger, the 2 people walked out, he was 17. 2, 1, 7. 22 and 17. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry in this cipher here, 127. None of this is coincidence. They're planning the whole freaking thing. So they're going to kill people. I think we need to get together, and about 1,000 people need to go down to the Golden Gate Bridge on the 10th and 11th and hold signs and say, don't go on the bridge. See how long this video lasts, huh? Who bets it probably gets censored? I don't know. We'll see. So, 127, 81, 35, 53. Do you see how they're all important? See how they all go together? You don't need, okay, Star Trek's Discovery. I didn't put the picture up. But that new starship, look on its hull sometime. It says 1227. In case you don't believe me that the 1 goes with the 227. It's call number real big on the Star Trek Discovery spaceship. 1227. About these 53s, let's go into the 53s a little more. Yeah, they've been doing this for a long time. The Byzantine Empire fell in 1453. Think about that. So what are they saying about what's going to happen this August, probably? You know, maybe big. I don't know. Maybe huge. But it's definitely, but you know, the plane flights going down are definitely related too. Well, Vesica Pisces in the septenary. Let me make sure I spell this right. I was having the hardest time spelling that word. Pisces is 53 and septenary. Another 53. Okay? Like when Captain Marvel, they the opening weekend, and remember Captain Marvel had a 119 on her airplane right before it crashed. It was written on the tail wing. It's relation to the divine feminine. Well, that movie netted 135 million its opening weekend, 35 again. Doesn't matter which order. If you reverse it, forward or backward, same number. And look at this. Vesica Pisces, 77. Think about the Golden Gate Bridge. G, Golden Gate. G is the 7th letter. 2 G's, 7, 7. You think that's a coincidence? Heck no. Heck no, it ain't. Willow Island, even. Willow Island's this the tower here in West Virginia. The 2 towers that went down in 1978. Look how it gematriates. 72, 153. So you got 72 again. 22 divided by 7, 127, whatever you want to think of it. And 153. You see why they did that? 38 like murder. Murder equals 38. You see, 38 and 83. Listen, if you don't accept this, you're just dumb. I'm sorry, but the proof is over freaking whelming. They're killing people. You need to wake up, and you need to join us and tell your friends and neighbors and try to start doing something to try to make it stop. Quit acting like you can't tell that 1, 2, and 7 are the same number over and over and over again. The 53 and 53 and 53 and 53 are the same number. 72, 72, 72, or 27, 27, 27 are the same freaking number. Wake up. Gosh, it's not that hard. This stuff is easy to learn. I am not that smart. I was a C student my whole life. I get this, okay? I'm not that smart. I can't do math. I have no skills in math, okay? You don't have to. This is called a calculator, okay? This is a gematria calculator. You type the word in and it does it for you, okay? This is simple stuff. And it gives you the cipher right here. Write down the ciphers in case the thing ever goes down. Of course, you can download it on your computer. This one I'm using right here is actually downloaded at the moment. This isn't the one that I use online. It's the same one, but I mean it's just downloaded on my computer at the moment because sometimes I have to use it when I'm not within Wi-Fi service area. So, and it has gone down before. Always by the numbers when I take it down. It's amazing. Let the really smart people like the guy who made this, Derek Takuri, who's super smart. Let him invent these designs. You don't have to be smart to run it. I don't know how to make a calculator either, that just, a regular pocket calculator. I don't know how it works either. I just type the numbers in. Okay? You don't have to be that smart. Okay? Go look on all the Wikipedia articles and pay attention and write them down. The only reason you're not seeing the connections is because you're not taking the time to write them down and look at them all at the same time. If you do, it will blow your mind. It's just your brain can't hold it all at once. So you have to use a little bit of effort and you have to write it down. It's not that hard, okay? That's why I have all these hundreds of papers, and you don't have to get hundreds of papers to understand it. But you want to understand one issue, just write some things down on a few sheets of paper, and all of a sudden it'll start blowing your mind. And don't erase this stuff. Hit return, and you can go back through and look at it later. You see? See what compares to what. Every time you hit return, it goes down here. This is simple to use, man. If you can't even put in that much effort, don't complain to me and come back and say that I'm just full of it, or that I'm exaggerating, or I don't understand. This is easy, man. You're just a moron. It's really what it is. It's just that if you don't understand, you're just stupid, or lazy, or both. There they are, about to go over the Golden Gate Bridge. Bumblebee standing in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. No accident. Willow Island. Just like Michelle Obama's wearing a burning necklace. The Simpsons predicted the burning at Notre Dame. 2 burnings, 2 holy sites. And August 10, 11 is Tisha B'Av. Zach Hubbard, Zach Hubbard, turned us all onto this and told us about Tisha B'Av on August 10 and 11 this year. Changes every year on our calendar, but on the Hebrew calendar, it's the same time every year. This year, it's August 10 and 11. Well, August 10 is 108 if you read it the way most of the world writes it. Okay, just like the width of the, or the radius of the moon is 1,080. Or the diameter of the moon and earth together, added together, is 10,080. You know? They love that 108. That's why we think there's strong suspicion something's going to happen. 108 moon widths from the moon to the earth, 108 sun widths from the sun to the earth, 108 earth widths across the width of the sun, you know? All just contrived numbers. 8's infinity. That's why they do that. Okay? Like the heavens are infinite. Okay? That's all that means. It's not really that complicated. If you can understand what an 8 is, it all makes sense. So here they are planning another ritual attack. Could be a play for the 2 temples in Jerusalem, or they could just take down the Golden Gate Bridge as another sign of the Golden Gate in Jerusalem. Okay, we don't know exactly what they're going to do, but man, they sure have brought the Golden Gate into it an awful lot of times. On August 11, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie comes out, and it's a picture of Sonic standing at the Golden Gate Bridge. Remember when Magneto uses magnetic powers to take the Golden Gate Bridge and throw it? How many times they got to destroy that thing? As many times as they destroyed the Twin Towers for the last 40 years. How every frickin' clock on just about every movie was set to 9/11 for like the last 40 years. Here we're telling you in advance what's going to happen possibly. And if it does, you should really pay attention. It may not. It may do something else. I don't know. You know, we don't have a crystal ball. But we can follow the clues. If they don't do that, they're going to do something else in conjunction with a 108. They do it because they've been doing it for 40 years. They're going to keep doing these rituals. That's just one more date to watch. But it looks promising, like they're probably going to do something big that day. It's time to organize. It's time to warn people. Time to do something about it. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.